बोद्धव्यं चरिकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत् यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाभिदग्धकर्माणं तमाहु पण्डितं बुधाः त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः.
Kim karma, kim akarma. What is action and what is inaction? Even the wise are deluded here as to what is action and what is inaction. Therefore, I shall teach you action, knowing which you will be liberated from evil. Actions are driven by the desire, and the desire is the fruit. So, actions are driven by the desire, and the desire itself is the fruit. One of the important things to understand in action is that which drives the action is that which is the very purpose of that which drives the action is the very purpose of action. That which drives the action is that which you want as the result of the Therefore, action is a medium. Action is the process through which you want something and then you want to attain it. Desire means wanting it. Fulfillment means gotten what you want. Therefore, desire and fruit are one and the same. If desire and fruit are one and the same, sir, just the thought itself should be able to produce. No. I think of a house. Immediately, house should come. Why? There is a need for an effort. Therefore, desire and fruit are not the same, sir. And yet the truth is, both are the same. How do you understand this? This is why this karma and akarma is that complicated to understand. Desire as in sankalpa, desire as in fructification. Desire as in sankalpa, sankalpa as in I. What is sankalpa? I want. Sankalpa. Then actually having it. Are they the same? No, they are not the same. For there is something in between which is the effort. First thing that you need to understand is you can never have a desire for effort. You always have a desire for the fruit, and it is the fruit that drives it is the desire that drives the very effort itself. Action has to be understood as effort. Action means effort. Action nale the very basis of action is effort. So action and effort are not separate. Action itself means effort. That is why you can never have a desire for effort. You always have a desire for the fruit, and that fruit drives the action means effort. Therefore, all efforts are fruit, result driven, fruit driven. A person goes to a job interview. You can't tell a person, have a desire for interview, no. Neither can you tell him, just do the interview. பெரியவெல்லாம் வந்திருக்கா, அதனால வெயிட் பண்றேன். வெளிநாட்டுல இருந்தெல்லாம் வந்திருக்கா, அவள் கொஞ்சம் வெயிட் பண்ணணும். ஜாகிரதையா பேசணும். ரிப்போர்ட்லாம் வேற போகும். தப்பா சொல்லி கொடுக்குறாரு அவர் கிளாஸ்ல உட்காந்துட்டு. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் உங்களுக்கு ட்ரெஸ் கோடே தப்பு இல்லையா? என்னப்பா சொன்ன? Interview. You can never have a desire for an effort. It is impossible. Impossible for anybody to have a desire for effort. You always, the effort is driven only by the desire for the fruit. You can never tell the person, enjoy the interview. Can you say that? You can say, but it doesn't. You can tell the person, enjoy the interview. You can say that, but it actually doesn't. He will ask you, okay, so if I enjoy the interview, I will be able to do better, no? So I can get so enjoying the interview is a better method of getting the job. Now, what is he actually looking at? Job only. Therefore, first thing that you need to understand in relation to action is, you can never have a desire for the effort. Anybody says, I have a desire for an effort, don't know what they are talking, because they have understood this effortless way of doing is a better chance of getting in the probability, it's a better way of getting the result. Therefore, therefore they always think it's a better way to get you should enjoy doing what you are doing. For what? For the sake of it, now you will turn back and ask, it is so meaningless. Examples that is given is, sun does it, stars does it, moon does it, but they all don't have a mind. Where there is no mind, that problem doesn't exist at all for them, because they don't have a mind. Mind means the alternative doesn't exist. What is alternative? The sun can never ever think, why not take a break for one day? The lion can never ever think, because they don't have a mind. So in the case of a human being, action that is driven by the mind, the rules become entirely different. Even the wise don't understand this, Arjuna is saying. Even the wise haven't understood this distinction. But don't worry, I will teach you. Even the wise don't understand, but don't worry, I will teach you. knowing which you will be liberated from evil. Why action is seen as evil is because desire is evil, the effort is evil. The desire is evil. Why the desire is evil? It breeds more desires. Second, the very effort, the very prayatna itself is evil. Evil in the sense of agitation. காத்தால ஏந்து இங்க வரத்துக்கு இப்போ எவ்வளோ டெக்னாலஜி இருக்கு. உட்கார்ந்த இடத்துலயே why not stream it from, why not I stream from my house, you sit and see at your house. காத்தால இது வேற ஏந்து குளிச்சு எல்லாத்துக்கு ஒரே. The desire is evil, the prayatna is evil, the fruit that you get is evil again. Therefore, everything, all that is associated with action is only evil by nature. In the way that you are acting, Arjuna, in the way that I am going to teach, you will be liberated from evil. In the way that you act, you end up in an evil. Evil we have understood any number of times, we have seen as mental agitations. Evil means mental agitations, and everything that is associated with action is a mental agitation only. But if I get what I want, there is no agitation, no sir. If I get what I want, I am happy. No, you are not happy. Fear comes along with it. What is the fear? Losing it. இந்த வாட்டி ஆர்டர் கொடுத்துட்டாங்க, whether, because they don't give it in writing, no contract. Every year, all contracts, all dealings will be done only with Raj Kamal எழுதி கொடுத்துருந்தாங்கன்னா there is no a problem. There is no problem. There is no இல்லையா? கிளைமா பூல்ல தான் இனிமே உலகத்தில் எங்க ஏசி வாங்கினாலும் கிளைமா பூல் தானே. there is no. But then the fellow comes and buys, there is a joy, but then there is a how to retain. அதே ப்ராப்ளம் தான் இங்கேயும். முதல்ல வர வைக்கிறது கஷ்டம். சேம் ப்ராப்ளம் here also. First you have to do so much of effort has to be done to bring somebody here. After bringing in, how to retain. வெள்ள ஒங்கேயும் போகாம இல்லையா, அந்த ஹர்ட் அப்படியே மெயின்டைன் பண்ணணும். They should not be allowed them to expose to anybody. Same problem happens everywhere. The result is the same. Why? Anything driven by action, the end product is evil only. Then if everything in it is evil, then why do it? Why can't you? Ram Krishna, I am telling you from the beginning, everything is so much of evil, let us move away. Then why do it? That you cannot escape, because in the past you didn't know this and you created so many. You didn't know this in the past, you have created. Now you can't, having created, you can't escape, because you can escape from the environment, but you can't escape from your mind, and your mind will keep creating it wherever you go. Therefore, might as well be here, understand and finish it off. That finishing it off is moksha. Then that finishing it off is what is called as moksha, liberation. If you don't finish it off, punaha api, again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi. Now, you can't escape because you have already created. Then, class இருக்குன்னு வாட்ஸ்அப்ல போடாத வரைக்கும் தான் there is the freedom. 7:30 இருக்குன்னு போட்டாச்சுன்னா you are bound. Now nothing can be. Now the freedom existed before, not Not after. After that, what can be done? After that, what can be done? How to act in such a way that it doesn't lead to the next cycle. How to act in a way that it doesn't create the next cycle. What is the cycle? The cycle of vasana, action, vasana. That cycle. The way that you are acting, Arjuna, you are creating that evil. What is that evil? The cycle. The way that I am going to teach you, I will liberate you. I shall make you free. Ultimately, that inactive principle. All this talking about action and all that is very, very elementary, because we have still not touched upon the inactive principle. Still jnanam hasn't come in. All this knowledge of action will, to what extent it helps? To that extent of keeping your expectations under control. It has got nothing to do with moksha. Still we are not, this is not a thing to move, to go to liberation. That is why he is saying, I shall teach you which will be liberated from evil. You need to understand that ultimate evil, and that ultimate evil is the cycle, and jnanam is needed to get rid of this cycle. That jnanam I am going to give you. You follow? What about the action? The driving point of action is a desire. Desire means an expectation. Understand it like that. Desire means expectation. Desire and expectations are not different. They are one and the same. You can never tell a desire-ridden person, don't have any expectation. It is impossible. Desire and expectations are one and the same. A person who is not that desire-ridden, naturally his expectations will be less. That is why this advice, don't have expectations, people get utterly confused. They think how it is possible, because for a desire-ridden person it is not possible. What is not possible? To be desire-ridden and not have expectations. It is not possible. And what is an expectation? Expectation means things should happen in the way that I want all the time. That is what expectation is. Desire drives you to that belief. Expectation means, desire means, I want it to be done in the way that I want all the time. Okay, sir, it will happen to you once per month. Once in a week it will happen according to your thing. Is it enough? Once a month it will happen. Once in a year. Is it okay? No. It should happen in the way that I want always. This expectation, what it does, this expectation is that which creates this escapism. Arjuna, because of this desire-ridden thing, he wanted to escape. What is that escapism? When things are not going to go my way, then why? Why act? So, a desire-ridden person becomes inactive very soon. Are you able to follow? Desire means expectations. Expectations means things should happen in the way that I want all the time. 1 second this side, 1 second that side is not. The jvara. That's what in the previous verse he called it as the feverishness, the jvara. That agitations where it can't even wait for the desire, the effort and the phala, all has to be instant. That's Swarga. Yeah, that is Swarga. What is Naraka? Desire, effort, correct. Opposite effect. That's Naraka. You look for something and you end up opposite. Mixed. Sometimes in the law of probability, sometimes it happens, sometimes it may not happen. Out of 10 times, 6-7 times it is okay. This Mishra is misunderstood as contentment. Are you able to follow? This is misunderstood as contentment. And Vedanta comes and says nobody is a desire-ridden person can never be contented. A desire-ridden person can never be free of agitation because of the expectation. And expectations are unreasonable. Expectations are unreasonable. Why? Desire means I said last week, in relation to the phala, desire means, last week I said, now sonna, you get exactly what you want. Third is less than what you want. Fourth is opposite of what you want. In this four, what can you expect? Or can you make an effort with the full understanding that in your effort these four possibilities exist? If you understand these four possibilities exist in your effort, what goes out? The very expectation goes out, you become liberated. But then what happens is, if you say these four are existing, what happens to you? The very energy itself? Correct. Puncture on a balloon madri, it goes down. At least tell us that of the probabilities, 6-7 times it will doesn't work. Why talk about only the negativity, sir? Why not talk about the positive side where it has functioned a few times, where it has happened a few times? Carefully follow now. The fact that it has happened a few times is what has deluded you. The fact that it has happened a few times is that which has brought about the delusion that it will happen. It will happen always. At the time he gives that example. Swamiji always gives standard example. The fellow drinks and drives and reaches home 200 times. According to the probability, 201st time also he should reach. But then that things went in his way, what he has developed? A deluded understanding. What is a deluded understanding? Only if I have a peg, I will be steady. And I have been reaching home for 70 years, I have reached home safely. So, your law of probability, your logical law doesn't work, sir. But it doesn't work. The fact that a few times it happens creates an expectation that it will happen all the time. And one time if it goes wrong is enough to upset you at the core. Just one time things not going your way is enough to upset you at the core. Why? All along things have been going your way, and these things going your way created a wrong understanding about life itself. Very few can become philosophical through things going their way. Things not going their way, by default you will become. Arjuna condition. That is Arjuna's condition. Things not going your way, you become philosophical. When things are going your way, still for a person to sit and analyze. See, week after week after week you are winning a lottery. Will you ever consider philosophy at all in your life? Or will you ever consider God only in the first place? You go to office, the boss is standing up and saying good morning. Will you ever feel like leaving the job? You go to house, the partner is very obedient. Will you ever want to divorce? So when things go your way, it creates the delusion in life is not because of things not happening. The delusion in life is because of things happening. That is why knowledge as a preparation is necessary before you get into this action. Because even when things go your way, what you understand? You are not jumping with joy or sinking with sorrow. Samam pashyati sarvatra, he says. This man sees everything as the same. This is too difficult to digest. Now what is seeing it as the same means? Doesn't he know the difference between the two? He knows the difference between the two, but he is unaffected by the two because he understands what? The nature of action, the nature of desire is such that it will give a fruit. What that fruit is only the challenge is. You have no doubt about the fruit. Don't worry. Action will give a fruit. What is that phala is the... Are you able to follow? What that phala is, always we have the fear. Always we have that. That is why we go to God, we go to temple, we go to horoscope man, we go to everybody asking for what is that phala that I am going to get. So what is driving the action? Always the fruit. So as you are doing the action, temporarily keep aside the fruit. Why? So you can get the fruit. Temporarily keep aside the fruit and act. Why? So that you can get the fruit. In the Karma Yoga, the technique that he has given is step number 1. As you are acting, keep aside the fruit and act. Why? So that you can get the fruit quickly. Why? When you have created a distance from the fruit, you have a better chance of looking at the desire. When you move yourself away from the fruit, you have a better chance of looking at the desire, thereby understanding the uselessness of the desire and transcending it. It is not a better technique for guarantee for fruit. So people think, appa karma yoga follow panna kandipa fruit kadachum sir. Correct. One fruit kadaikum. What? Your desire will go. But then you say that's not my fruit. The fruit that I want is what? Fulfillment of the Abdina Karma Yoga is out. Those who do actions also, Arjuna, they also don't know. Now I will teach you action. Kim karma, kim akarma, mohitaha kavayaha. Even the wise are deluded. The wise here means the most skillful person doesn't know how to act. That's what it means here. Arjuna, as the most skillful person, didn't know how to act. Therefore, I shall teach you action. And in action, whatever is going to teach. In this verse, you need to be convinced about one fact. What? Action necessarily will end up in evil. Good pala, punya. Satisfaction. So what? That very satisfaction leads to more expectation. That very satisfaction doesn't allow you to think and eliminate the desire. The very satisfaction convinces you that you are on the right path, and the desire has to continue to be fulfilled. You follow? Therefore, he says, action ends up in evil. Ending up in evil, na best solution. What? Drop the action. Escape. If you can escape from your mind, you can escape from action. When you can't escape from your mind, you can't escape from action. You can escape from action. All great men dropped the action. He says, I have nothing to do. What do you think I am going to achieve? For I have achieved that which I have to be attained already. There is nothing that I have to. Now he is the only person who can say, I can be free from action. When can you be free from action? When you can be free from your mind. When you can't keep the mind away, you can't keep the action also away. Arjuna, can you keep your mind away? No. Wherever he goes, even if he goes to an ashram, what he will do in that ashram? Supposing Arjuna goes to an ashram, what will he do in that ashram? First thing he will say, the security is this place is not, for he will only see, for he cannot escape from his mind. Since you cannot escape from your mind, you have no choice but to do the action. Only difference is, with the knowledge that I am going to teach you, you will know how to act so that the evil doesn't. Are you able to follow? Why Vedanta says can't escape? Because you can escape from action, but you can't escape from your mind. Mityacharasya uchyate. He has said it already. You can escape from doing, but your mind is still going behind it. No. Therefore, you can't escape from action because you can't escape from your mind. If you can escape from your mind, then that is called sannyasa. He is a sannyasi. A person who has detached from the mind is one who is a sannyasi. But you cannot detach from your mind. Therefore, what you have to do? Might as well do action, not skillfully in the way that you are doing, in the way that I am going to teach. என்ன சொல்றார் பார்க்கலாம். Verse number 17.
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यम् बोद्धव्यम् च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम् गहना कर्मणो गतिः कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यम् बोद्धव्यम् च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम् गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Verily action should be known, and forbidden action also should be known, and inaction should be known. The nature of action is impenetrable. Gahana karmano gatihi is the law of action. Gahana karmano gatihi meaning, gati means the path, the nature. Where your actions are taking you, you don't know. Impenetrable it is. You think you know, but you do not know. What is it that you do not know? How the way that you are acting, you are generating more and more desires only. As a result of this, the gati, the path that you take, ends up where? Durgati. You end up in Durgati, you understand, no? Evil path, negative path. Why? Because you don't know a few things about action. What are the few things that you need to know about action? First thing, action has to be known. Karma has to be bodhavyam. Bodhavyam means should know. So first thing what you need to know, karma has to be. இவ்வளோ நேரம் அதானே படிச்சுன்னு இருக்கிறோம், அதானே பார்த்துன்னு இருக்கிறோம். இல்லை, யூ டோன்ட் நோ. Vikarmanaha, forbidden action also has to be known. Inaction should be known. Karma means the Upanishadic definition of karma. Karma means the Upanishadic definition of karma. The Upanishadic definition of karma is obligatory duties, obligatory actions. So first thing you need to know is what? Obligatory actions. In obligatory actions, the result is eliminated. In obligatory action, the result is eliminated. The pala is gone. Why? As I have already defined, no? Obligation enna, Rajaram? Obligation enna? Obligation enna? ராகத்வேஷாவா? இல்லை, இங்கிலீஷ்ல அவர் மாற்றி சொல்றாரு, மேஜர் சுந்தராஜன் மாதிரி. அவர் தான் தமிழ் இங்கிலீஷ்ல அதையே மாற்றி என்னத்துக்கு அது இல்லையே. வாட் இஸ் இட்? obligatory action. There is no fruit. அதுதான் வாட்னு கேட்கிறேன். How the fruit is eliminated in obligatory action? Why you are doing that? Repayment. Not to be bound by the action. Obligatory action means doing it, you don't get anything. If you don't do, it is sinful. The obligatory action means when you do it, there is no fruit. You brush your teeth every day. Obligation. Morning and evening you brush your teeth. Extra teeth varuma? Varadu. Can the deterioration be arrested? I am religiously following it. Can the deterioration be arrested? You have to do it with the full understanding that it ought to be done, though there is no fruit for it. You take care of your children. Will you be given Bharat Ratna for that? Obligatory action means doing it, there is no. This conviction is that which makes you detached from the fruit. Otherwise, even in these obligatory actions, the expectation comes. What is the expectations? I am doing it in the way it ought to be done with the right attitude, following the principles of Vedanta, Dharma, Ella sir. Therefore, I should get it. Suti, you can never escape the fruit. Yeah, are you able to follow? So first thing is to detach yourself from the fruit. What is it that helps you? Obligatory. Yeah. Raji ki fees pay panna award la கிடையாது. Pay பண்ணலன்னா fine தானே. கரெக்ட். Pay பண்ணலன்னா fine. Pay பண்ணா receipt கொடுத்தா அனுப்புறாங்க. Award doesn't. That is the nature of obligation is that. You are able to follow? In that obligation, what is implied? Deterioration still happens. How do you understand that? You buy a car in a dharmic way. Will it not meet with an accident? Okay, it didn't meet with an accident, but wear and tear, still it will reduce. But I have done it in a dharmic way, sir. Therefore, it has to be safer. It means you are still affected by it means you are still looking at the fruit only. Therefore, you have not even started the understanding of karma. So what is karma? Obligatory actions. What is obligatory actions? Nitya karma and Naimittika karma, and then there is a list for all that. Now I am not getting into that list of it, because the list keeps changing. But the concept, what is that? Obligatory actions. Why? Because you have already received. That is why the knowledge says, Vedanta starts with this principle. At birth itself you are a rina. Rina means indebted. At birth itself you are indebted. That is why we say Deva Rina, Pitru Rina, Rishi Rina. Rina means indebted. Indebted at from what period of time this indebtedness started? From birth itself. Unnecessarily you went and asked your mother and father, give me a place in the womb. I have to come and occupy that womb. Enna? Desire இருக்குது. Desire fulfill பண்ணனும். அதுக்கு ஒரு body வேணும். அங்கேயே I went and indebtedness started from there. That's why he always says, no, oxygen bills, temperature is maintained inside, temperature is maintained outside. Now what does that mean? All this arises from the fundamental concept. We are indebted at the law of karma starts from this premise. You are indebted at birth. A person who is indebted from birth has no right to ask for anything. More keta naraka. Upside down he will be. If he asks for more, it is special naraka for that person. Are you able to follow? So the Rina starts from Taittiriya Upanishad explains how we are indebted. God created everything first and then created the Manushya, so that as soon as he comes out, everything is provided there. As soon as he comes out in birth out womb in womb itself everything is, so everything is set and then only you are clear. யாரோ வந்து எல்லாம் செட் பண்ணிடுறாங்கல்ல. We just come and போனா கவலை இல்லையா? Come and go na no problem. You come, you enjoy and complain. You come, you enjoy and you complain. Yeah. Prasada buddhi. That is why obligatory action is an understanding of prasada buddhi. The moment you understand it as prasad, you can't complain about the prasad, no? Yeah. People have the name prasad, no? Why? Prasad, no? What does it mean? Child is prasad எதுக்கு பேர் வைக்கிறாங்க? R.D. பிரசாத் சைன் தான் போடுறாரு. R.D. பிரசாத் அப்படின்னு. பிரசாத்னு என்ன அர்த்தம்? கிஃப்டட் அவ்வளவுதான். ஃப்ரம் காட்லாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது. பிரசாத்னா கிஃப்ட். When we don't even know what to ask for, everything is provided. Everything was anticipated and provided. This knowledge is obligation. Are you able to follow? The beauty of service is always the beauty of service is anticipation. You anticipate the need of the other and you are ready. Opposite of that is கேட்டா கூட அடுத்த வாரம் பார்க்கலாம் சார், முன்னாடியே சொல்லியிருக்கணும், லாஸ்ட் மினிட்ல சொன்னா you anticipate the need and you are ready. God did that. This is what Taittiriya says. So first he created the Akasha. From Akasha came Vayu. From Vayu came Agni. From Agni came water. From water came the earth. And then came the seeds, the plant. There he goes one by one. And then finally he ends up with you. First ungala create pannirundha, what would have happened? Ange death, because nothing is there. Clear. Look at the beauty. Before herbivorous was created, herbage was created. Before carnivorous was created, herbivorous was created. எல்லாம் ஒழுங்கா இருக்குது. மனுஷனை கிரியேட் பண்ணாதான் chaos வருதுன்னு human being was. This is the rina. This is the indebtedness. Indebtedness not towards anyone in particular. Indebtedness as your indebtedness is what you are. Now what happens? Whoever you meet in life, you think in terms of how I can be of some use to that person. It's not to a few. If indebtedness to a selective few, it is not indebtedness. Because you have to be indebted to the carnivore, you have to be indebted to the herbivore, you have to be indebted to the herbage, you have to be indebted to the 5 elements. Symbolically we keep a few. Symbolically we keep a few. But then that few is not it. This is the science behind symbolism. This is the science behind symbolism. You follow? It's a pumpkin. You tell the person Ganesha is invoked in that nut, what happens? It's no more a pumpkin. It's a stone. Ganesha is invoked in that nut. It's no more a stone. Now, you need a symbolic representation of understanding your indebtedness, but this indebtedness is not towards anybody in particular. Therefore, whoever you meet in life, you think in terms of service. After you. Already I am a runner. Already pala janmava munadi poi I have taken so much. Ippayavadu what I should do? Or step pinadi poi after. That's a Sanskrit word. Seva. The Sanskrit word for service is seva. Seva means saha eva. Saha plus eva equals seva. In English it is called after saha eva. You follow? So what is obligation? Obligation is an awareness of indebtedness, and when you are repaying your indebtedness, in return what will you get? Nothing. Adam. Are you able to follow? When you are repaying your loan, bank la enna solvan? Ellam kattitappa. Ellam kattinadunala your eligibility is double more. Temptation, correct? Loan close பண்ணிட்டு வெளில வந்தாங்க 10 phone call வரும். Why? Because you are eligible for double. Temptation comes now. Seri. Somewhere down the line it is gone. First thing is understanding what is obligatory action. What is obligatory action? That which ought to be done whether you like it or not. The ability to do a thing when it ought to be done whether you like it or not. The ability to do a thing when it ought to be done whether you like it or not. எங்க இருக்குது? Correct. Thomas Huxley. It ought to be done whether you like it or not. I know I ought to do this, but next week lendu பண்ணலாமா? ஒரு 3 weeks break கொடுங்க. நியூ இயர் இன்னும் 2 நாள் தான் இருக்கு. 2020 lendu. That is why they say obligation to do it now. It has to be done now. If you are postponing it now, you haven't understood it as an obligation. Gahana karmano gatihi. It's very, very deep, Arjuna. It's very deep. What is it that is deep? Understanding behind action. First thing, Nitya karma means Nitya karma. Nitya karma means obligatory duties. And this is what the Shruti says. What the Smriti has done, they give a list for everybody. According to the Varna, according to the Ashrama, it keeps It keeps changing. That's why we don't go into that list of it, because the list has no meaning. Like when you say it has no meaning means you can't have one list cannot be given in a mixed group. Individually it can be given. In a classroom it can be only said. Yeah. You can say this is the obligatory action of a Brahmana, then what about her? Then what about the Kshatriya? Abdina, you have to talk 4,000 verses of Manusmriti has to be Saturn. That's why we don't get into that. What you need to understand is obligatory, that which ought to be done. That which ought to be done is 1, that which ought to be avoided is 99. Therefore, you need to know that which ought to be avoided. Idu onnu pannanumna, you should not do 99 other things. That is why forbidden actions also has to be. That is why Shastras, forbidden actions are always more. Listed to partha, what should not be done, what should not be done, what should not be done, why? For you to do that one thing, you should not do whole lot of other things. Therefore, forbidden actions, karma, obligatory actions need to be known. Forbidden actions also has to be known. Inaction also has to be known. Inaction, the enlivening principle. Throughout he keeps bringing in that. Throughout he keeps bringing that enlivening factor, because minus that enlivening factor, this is not philosophy. This is just a very ordinary knowledge in terms of making you how to live a peaceful life. Now that is not the purpose of Vedanta is not a peaceful life. The peaceful life becomes a byproduct. Or the peace itself comes only because your attention has shifted to the enlivening principle. What is that enlivening principle? That which remains the same. That which remains the same is the enlivening principle. That which remains the same before the action, that which remains the same during the action, that which remains the same even when the phala is exhausted or when the phala is experienced is akarma, the enlivening factor. Arjuna, you need to know all these three. What are the three? Nitya karma. In Nitya karma, Naimittika is included. So obligation, two categories. Nitya karma and Naimittika karma. Forbidden actions, falsehood, hypocrisy, theft, adultery, violence, idella forbidden actions. Under some conditions, for what is prohibited becomes sanctioned gets sanctioned at another period of time. Violence is prohibited under certain conditions. Violence is sanctioned under certain conditions. Falsehood is Falsehood is prohibited under conditions. Falsehood is sanctioned under certain conditions. Therefore, this vikarma again is very complicated. Why it is so complicated is because you can't have a permanent list. You can't have a all-time permanent list. அப்படிதானே சார் நாங்கள் ஆல்ரெடி வாழ்ந்துன்னு இருக்கிறோம். Decided na. We don't have any permanent list. We keep moving up and down according to our whims and fancies, according to our conveniences, and Shastra also seems to promote that. No. Forbidden actions are those actions which you are aware of the consequences. You know if you do this is the consequence. So forbidden actions is avoiding actions because of understanding the consequences of it. If I do this is what will happen. Therefore, I will not do whatsoever the temptation is. Whatsoever the temptation is, that person refuses to do. Are you able to follow? So forbidden actions is by what? How do you understand it practically? Not according to a list, not according to what the Shastra says, even though some common examples are given. What according to, now how do you understand it practically? Anything opposite of obligatory action is prohibited. Keep it like that. It becomes simple. Or personally, I try to keep it like that. Anything opposite of obligation is prohibited. List becomes that much easy. You move away from your obligation because of what? Temptations. Why you move away from your obligations? Because of the temptations. What are the temptations? Tempted by the? What is the temptation? What is the temptation? The senses, mind. What is the temptation? Answer the temptation in the context of action. What is the temptation? To acquire, to possess. Fruit nu sollam. Phala, the fruit. Phala is the temptation. The fruit is the temptation. So, prohibited actions are those actions which are driven by the fruit. According to him, this is what it is. In the definition எடுத்து பார்த்தா ரொம்ப scary. But there is no need to get scared. If you understand it rightly, you will drop. Are you able to follow? Otherwise, how to understand forbidden actions? Now you can't go by the list that was given to a previous generation. You can't go by the list that was given to a generation 5,000 years back. You can't go by that list. That is why every great master comes and brings their own list of prohibited actions. And an enlightened master of this generation will come up with his own, because it is relevant to the context. You follow? As a seeker, what we should do? As a seeker, what should be our understanding? Prohibited action means actions away from obligations, actions driven by phala. If you keep this as a list of prohibited actions, now it becomes easy. How do you know that phala is the results affect you? Results affects you. Boredom sets in. Mechanical people complain of boredom, no? இதே திருப்பி எப்படி சார் பண்ணி இருக்குது? ஒரு 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 வெரைட்டி வேணும் இல்ல, ஒரு பிரேக் வேணும் இல்ல. Boredom will not set in, or boredom has set in because you are not doing your obligations. Endless reservoir of energy in obligations. In prohibited actions, lack of energy, boredom, frustration. You follow? எவ்வளோ நாள் தான் சார் சாமி பேர் சொல்லினே இருக்கிறது? How long to keep chanting the God's name? கொஞ்சம் பிரேக் எடுத்து வேற ஏதாவது சொல்லலாமா? How long to keep chanting the Lord's name? Oh, as long as you are alive. That's 24/7. So in karma, bhakti has inculcated. In karma, bhakti has entered already. Therefore, you don't need to separately go for bhakti. Are you able to follow? For you need to, what is your obligation? Always indebted. Philosophically, sir, from 7:30 to 8:45, I will be a detached person. Because detachment is very... How can you be detached all the time? Sometimes you need to get attached also, no? You get bored because you are doing forbidden. Depression, boredom, frustration, agitation, these are all the indications that you are doing forbidden actions. These are all the indications. What is forbidden action? Opposite of obligatory action. Another verse. See, nowadays, family 20% family oda irundha eppadi? We need a break for a few days, sir. Yesterday they were telling me, only girls vacation. Ipo adella trend. Correct, no? Only girls. Meaning what? Why only men should go? Women also should. 4 days. எங்கப்பா யார் இல்ல எல்லாம் வெக்கேஷனுக்கு போயிருக்கிறாங்க, நீ போலியே? இல்ல சார், அது இப்போ said only. Correct, huh? Why family is getting boredom? Because it is you are prohibited it is. If you understand it as an obligation, there is no boredom, there is no frustration. Everything in life we get frustrated because it is driven by the color, the fruit. Yeah. Long back he said, morning 4 o'clock he writes about the intellect. Jogging track la yaravadu paatha intellect, breakfast table la intellect, class la intellect, adukku appuram yaravadu advice nu pona intellect, lunch time la intellect, தூங்கும் போது அப்படி காது வச்சு கேட்டா அப்பயும் இன்டெலெக்ட்னு இருக்கும், கண்டிப்பா இருக்கும். ஈவினிங் கிளாஸ்ல, நைட் டின்னர்ல, we get a break, but he doesn't get a break. But I used to think, from where is that energy coming from? When he knows fully that there is no result at all in that. That's not supposing. இப்போ இல்லையா, நான் ஒரு நச்சிகேதஸ் இல்லையா, என்னோட சீனியர் வந்திருக்கிறாரு, அவர் ஒரு ஸ்வேத கேது அப்படிலாம் இருந்திருந்தா there is a that energy has a justifiable, but then nothing is happening but an endless reservoir. Because of what? Obligation. Obligation. That one word obligation frees you from likes and dislikes. It prepares you for moksha. This itself is not moksha. அதுக்கப்புறம் மோக்ஷாக்கு இன்னும் தனியா பண்ண வேண்டியதெல்லாம் இருக்கு நிறைய. This itself is a preparation for moksha. And people straight away want moksha. Half an hour time இருக்கு சார் எனக்கு, அதுக்குள்ள மோக்ஷா கொடுத்துருங்க. 30 செகண்ட்ல 3 செகண்ட் போறோம். 3 செகண்ட் போறோம். தத்துவம் அசின்னு சொல்றதுக்கு எவ்வளவு நேரம் போகுது? தத்துவம் அசின்னு சொல்றதுக்கு how much time it is going to take? You follow? So what is prohibited action? Prohibited action is that which is opposite of obligatory action. What is the indicator of obligatory action? No fruit. No fruit means what? Every day you wake up and you do it and you have the same energy and you have the same. It means you are prepared. That is how Karma Yoga prepares you for moksha. Karma Yoga is not the direct path for moksha. Karma Yoga prepares you for moksha. Bhakti is ingrained in it. How is bhakti ingrained in it? By telling you that there is by telling you that you are indebted. What is the indebtedness? Indebtedness is not because of what you have received, as though you have a choice not to receive. The indebtedness is because of what? The indebtedness is because of what? What knowledge will bring about that indebtedness in you? Unasked for provided. How they have anticipated it and gave. Yeah. At least I used to think in the academy how everything was made first and then we went inside. Clear? The building is ready, the bed is ready, the food is ready. He is also ready. Everything was well made, and then you are given what? ஒரு வார்த்தையில கரெக்டா who said that? What did you say? Correct. காதுல விழுந்துச்சு. And then you are given that opportunity. பிரசாத புத்தியோட அதை எடுத்துட்டு we should think in terms of how to transcend. Opposite of that is what? அது சரியில்லை. உள்ள வரத்துக்கே no adhikara to even enter. Clear? And other they say non-adhikaris should not be admitted. Are you able to follow? The indebtedness is not because you have received. The indebtedness is because of what? All that is needed for your well-being was already thought of and provided. That is bhakti. All that is needed for your well-being is thought of and provided, including the problems that you face in life. என்ன ரொம்ப தமசான ப்ராப்ளம் தானே வேக்கப் பண்றது. So you have to be grateful to the problems also. You follow? Kunti went and asked to Krishna, no? Kunti went and asked Krishna, எல்லாம் நல்லா போயின்னு இருக்குது சார்னா, what is forgotten? Divinity is forgotten. கர்த்திருத்வ இல்லையா, அங்கேயும் இந்த கர்த்திருத்வ வரும்னு ஆன்டிசிபேட் பண்ணி what they have done, what the divinity has done. Gada, ஒரு gada comes. Positive sideலையும் anticipation, negative sideலையும் anticipation. It is so complete, so complete, so complete. All that you need to do is what? Just do it and get out. Idhil enna kashtam? But the mind will not allow that. Why? Because it has developed, it has become stubborn. Stubborn because of raga and dvesha. Stubborn because of raga and dvesha, and not allowing the person to receive, serve. But then they will come and ask, I want moksha. How to gain moksha? First, develop this awareness. Don't say repay. Bhakti is not about repayment, for you can never repay. What are you repaying? Every day I prostrate to my mother and I worship her. After she is dead, I do all the rituals for her rightly. Is that repayment? Obligation is not about repayment. Obligation is about gratitude that it can never be repaid. Permanent அந்த indebtedness ஒரு burden இருந்தே இருக்குமே சார், இருக்கணும். That's suffocation. That is that suffocation. Then you will think in terms of what I should do to get out of this. Now there is no mumukshatva, there is no suffocation at all, because we have not yet started our obligations only as the way of life. We do raga dvesha appagapo, urga madri, little bit tasting mattam obligation. You follow? So in karma, what is that obligation? It's not about repayment. It's not about repayment. It is about an awareness and an understanding. What is that understanding? All that was needed for my well-being was anticipated and provided. And the anticipator and provider is God nu or peru vechom. Since we can't understand it, the knowledge straight away, so we gave it a form and we called it as God, and we say God is the provider. What does He provide? Sukha mattu He doesn't provide. He provides dukkha also. He provides. Only sukha He provides, then only sukha comes, what will develop in you? Don't say you will forget God. What will happen in you? Kartrutva develops and you become tamasic in nature. Kartrutva develops. What is the Kartrutva? I am the doer and everything is happening because of me and my effort only, and I don't need anybody else. Or I am a self-made ancestor. சொந்த காலிலே நான் நிக்கிறேன். எல்லாரும் அவங்க காலில தான் நிக்கிறான். யார் காலில? Well-made man. Why? That is why this prasada buddhi is very needed. Not for you to remember God. Why you forget God? I am the doer. Believe that He is the God. No. What is I am the doer? Are you able to follow? I am the doer na enna artham? I am God endra adha. No. You are not the doer. You are not the doer as in what? All that is needed for your well-being, you created it or it was provided? It was provided. He gives that example. At least the other species know where the mother milk is. It goes. Human child doesn't even. Dumb child. Dumb. Because he doesn't even know where the food is. At least the other species know where the food is. One. At least the other species know how to make their own house. They know where the food is. They know how to make their own house. Inga, farmer has to make the food. Ganesh has to build the house. By mark the Gananchale. He has to build the house. My cousin said, no, the critical part in that component, he is the head now. He is deciding the critical component. Hey, abdina inme and the flight la. Flight ஏறும்போது அந்த ஏர்பஸ் அந்த நம்பர்னா ஐ வில் நாட் கெட் இன்டு. ஏன்னா நீ தான் அந்த கிரிட்டிக்கல் காம்பனன்ட்னா கண்டிப்பா எலுமிச்சம் பழம் வச்சாதான் we will. You are. I am the. When you say you have forgotten God means what? You have assumed that it is because of your effort. So what is karma yoga? Nitya karma means obligatory actions that which ought to be done because of it ought to be done in சொல்லியாச்சுனாலே what you should not ask why னே correct பிரபு பரவாயில்ல 3 வாரத்துக்கு ஒரு வாட்டி வாங்குவோம் அப்பதான் கரெக்டா பதில் சொல்றாங்க. டெய்லி வரவங்க எல்லாம் என்னெல்லாமோ வளர்றாங்க. ஆப்ளிகேஷன்னாலே வாட் யூ ஷுட் நாட் ஆஸ்க் why I should do. Remember that doesn't exist at all. Obligatory action you know. Forbidden action also you need to know. What is forbidden action? Obligation is opposite பண்ணா அது forbidden. But அது எப்படி சார்? How will I know that it is forbidden? Result will tell you. Result will tell you that it is forbidden. What is the result? Correct. Rajaram. நீ கரெக்டா சொல்றீங்க. Agitation. But நல்ல காரியத்துக்கு தானே சார் அஜிடேட் ஆறேன். You have assumed the kartrutva. You have assumed that you are the doer. You follow? Therefore, what has to be known? Karma has to be known. Vikarma has to be known. Akarma has to be known. And akarma தான் அந்த akarma புரிஞ்சாச்சுன்னா moksha, liberation. And akarma புரியணும்னா you have to wait for a few more verses. Akarma எப்படி புரியும்? Verse number 24 ல இருந்து is going to start. Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havi, then the 12 yajnas teaches you how to identify with the akarma-ங்கிறதுக்கு தான். Till now we are still talking about karma and vikarma. But akarma னு சொல்லினே இருக்காரே அது எப்போ வரும்? verse number 24 ல இருந்து Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havi, Brahma Agno, Brahma Nahutam ல இருந்து he starts, and then how to identify with the akarma. அதுக்கு தான் 12 yajnas principles, and then he says Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is the best. I have taught you everything, Arjuna. Now that you have taught me everything, tell me what I should do. Thiruppi he starts from chapter ஒன்னு திருப்பி what I should do னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? He didn't understand. You follow? So now we are discussing karma and vikarma. Akarma is the enlivening factor which he is going to deal as the most profound aspect of the chapter 4. That 12 yajnas. and the 12 yajnas formula he sets it in the previous verse. Verse number 24 he sets the formula. What is the formula? Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi. Purnamada Purnamidamu Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi onnudan. Just replace the Purnam to Brahman, the word Potanga, both means the same. Angadan Jnanam comes in. Jnana Karma Sannyasa. So first karma, do all this, get a very good level of detachment, prepare yourself for Jnanam. What is the Jnanam? Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. Identify with that, you attain moksha. So, as an extroverted person, Arjuna, this is the path for moksha for you. Lokesh means Vivida Nishta Kada, he is still answering. Lokesh means Vivida Nishta Pura Prokta Mayanaga. Verse number 3-4, chapter 3. Again he is continuing. For what is the path for extrovert? Karma Yoga is the path. Till moksha he is taking. The technique is given first. Then the talk about Nitya and Naimittika. Then the talk about Akarma, Athoda starts. Arjuna will ask. Now that you have talking very clearly, Krishna, tell me clearly what I should. Yeah, chapter 2 la pesumbodhu kuda you are looking very confused. நீங்களே என்ன பேசுறேன்னு தெரியாத மாதிரி தான் இருந்தது chapter 2 la. But 3 and 4 la it is very clear. What an analysis, what an explanation. Now that since you are doing everything very clearly, might as well do that also. What I should do na? Again he starts. Sannyasi, yogi, sannyasi, jnani. What else to do with him now? Are you able to follow? Karma, obligatory actions. What is forbidden action? Opposite of obligatory action. How do I know that which is forbidden? The result. What is the result? Agitations, kartrutva. Agitations when things don't go your way, kartrutva when things go your way. Both are forbidden. See, don't take the negative angle only, take the positive angle also. Both are the same. Appada it is complete. When things go your way, kartrutva, forbidden. When things don't go your way, escapism, depression. Both are the indicators that you are doing forbidden actions. And exactly the opposite of forbidden action is obligatory actions. What is obligatory action? You have to do it. பண்ணா என்ன கிடைக்கும்? ஒன்றும் கிடைக்காது. பண்ணலன்னா என்ன கிடைக்கும்? சௌகரி கிடைக்கும். கரெக்ட். பண்ணலன்னா சௌகரி கிடைக்கும். பண்ண என்ன கிடைக்கும்? 33rd டீத் வராது. இருக்கிற டீத்தும் டிட்டீரியேட் ஆகிட்டு தான் இருக்கும். பட் ஸ்டில் யூ ஹேவ் டு டூ இட். வாய்? ஏன்னா பல்லு வந்துட்டேன். யூ unnecessarily asked for it. No. Because you have asked for it, you have no choice but to take care of it. காரை தொடச்சுனே இருக்கணுமா சார் டெய்லி? ஆமா. வாங்காம இருந்திருந்தா இல்லையா? தொடக்கணும். காரை வாங்கிட்டு தொடக்காம இருக்கிறதுக்கு உண்டான பாசிபிலிட்டி கிடையாது. So having gotten into an embodiment, you cannot avoid it. ஏன்னா embodiment is mind. If you have to avoid action, you should know how to avoid the mind. Since you can't escape from mind, you can't escape action. Therefore, action is the insignia of this is the summary. Every week you have to keep reminding yourself. Every week naka class remind பண்ணுங்க. Then every day you have to do it by yourself. சரியா? all classes cancelled.